live about the moon in Leo, natal, and transit. And I always like to do these lives. There's always something that manages to kind of trans transmute itself in energy into the video when I do a video about the energy of planets. So, Moon is the utmost yin of the personal planets. It represents the womb, mothering our psychological needs, the mother or mothering giver figures in our lives. Um, it is the way we self-care. Moon in itself, I know it's 10%. I'm going to try and do it quickly. Hello there. Moon in itself goes through the entire zodiac in 28 days, around 28 days. And that means it is moving very fast. It is the closest to Earth. And this is the planet that we use when we want to magnet something. We use the position of the moon and how it aspects or grabs the other planets, the outer planets, or the planets farther from the Earth when we want to infuse the energy of a planet, if we're doing astrological magic or if we're electing a date to do something. And so, Leo. Leo is actually ruled by the sun. And when we think about the planet in a sign, we also think about the planet as infused with the planet ruling a sign. Okay, so why did I say that moon in Cancer is moon? Because it's ruled by moon with the moon. Okay, and in Leo it's moon with the sun, and the sun is the center of our galaxy, and it is the thing that everything revolves around. Even in ancient times, what we knew about the sun, it shines every day, so it cycles every day is 24 hours. It goes around the zodiac in around 360, now we say 364 years, but around 360 days. 360 days. Not years, Mercury retrograde. Not years. 360 days. So a year. Yeah, the sun is also what we refer to when we say our sign is, because this is the solar return, the sun returning to its position in the natal chart. So we have a lot of confidence with the sun. We know it's going to shine the next day. It is fixed. It is fire. It holds this fire. It's not like Mars that is hot and dry and has a direction, has a telos. The sun is holding the fire and it is in its place. Now we know that it is probably moving and there's the cycle of the galaxy moving around the sun, but the sun is the center and it projects. The moon reflects the light of the sun. So we already understand that having the moon in the sign ruled by the sun, having the moon that is more where we are private, where we nourish ourselves, where we retreat to ourselves, where we have most intimate connection of our feminine caregiver, in the place that is solar. Now, natally, this can mean that a person has a mother figure that is also solar in her qualities. It can be either someone who is very dominant and dramatic, that needs to be appreciated, needs to be the center of attention. It can also be a single parent or a single mother, because if the moon carries if the solar qualities, not always, it needs more aspects for that, but it can also mean a single mother or having, like the native had a single mother, not that the native is a single mother or supported. But it needs more significations for that. It means that the place that you retreat to and your needs, your emotional needs, the moon, are solar in nature. You need to be the center of attention to nourish yourself. And so Leo also rules the heart. The sun rules both the eyes and the third eye together with the moon. It rules one of the eyes and the I don't remember which, and with the moon rules the third eye. But sun is also the heart. Leo also rules the heart. It means if it's not badly aspected, it can denote a person that wears their heart on their sleeve a lot. Well, hello there. Beautiful cat. It can denote a person that wears their heart on his sleeves, a vulnerable person, an open person, a person that is not afraid to show emotions and can be dramatic. If you have this place natally, you might desire to even take on a career, depending on the location of the the house, to take on any sort of place that puts you in a place that you appreciate it. Preferably, it can be acting or performing or being a public figure or a spoken word or doing something artistic where you are the main figure. You can even do a movie where your life story is the inspiration for that movie, and there are acting methods that fit that, that can protect you and protect your heart. Um, you might even be inclined to do therapy or teaching or working with children, but from the vantage point that you need to be appreciated, you need to be needed, you need to be appreciated, you need to be admired. And so, preferably, you would choose acting, you would be comfortable enough with your need to be admired, and choose acting, choose a place where you are a public figure, choose a place where you tell your story, um, and that affects people and inspires people. Um, and the emotional need of being an inspiration, it, it's something that you need to meet in your life. Because when you do things like teaching or therapy, you forget that you need to be there for others. They need to shine. The children need to shine. Do not fool yourself that you can be a good parent, a good teacher, a good healer, a good psychologist, um, if or even a good astrologer. You can be very talented in that, depending on other factors. If you don't have your shine zone outside of that connection, this means that you both need to have a safe connection fixed, maybe family, maybe relationship or friendship that is fixed that you can rely on, but also because you need to be the center of attention, you also have to have an outlet, okay, where you are meeting audience. And if you do it, if you meet audience and you acknowledge your need to be admired, and hopefully you did not grow up in a culture that if you want to be an actor or if you want or actress or if you want to be famous or if you want to be appreciated, if you need a crowd, there are some cultures like Nordic cultures that would consider you like, oh, you think you're better than anyone, and would try to put you as a teacher or somebody who works with kids, because you may like kids or you may like pets, but what you like is to be admired. And it's important for you to meet this need in a healthy way, to accept this need, to understand that it's not telling anything bad about you, that you want to have fame or that you want to be appreciated or admired. Um, and this is also true for any placement, but for the moon and the sun especially, because this is how you meet your needs. The moon is how you meet your emotional needs. And when you do accept this need to have a crowd, to wear your heart on your sleeve, to tell your story, and to be of inspiration, you can be more aligned with the path of your soul. Even if you do all that, you still need to find a way to be with you. Because there's something very lonely in being the sun. Okay, people can get close to you, but if they get too close, they burn. If you get too close, they burn. You need them to fuel. You need constant, think about the sun. Constantly, constant fire, constant fire, constant fire. But you're a human being. You're not the sun itself. You're affected by the sun. The moon is in the sign of the sun, but you're not the sun. You're a human being. Okay? So there is a dissonance. And being alone without being lonely can be a bit of an issue. And because the emotional need is something that you meet outside, you need to be admired. Okay? It's very difficult. If you have moon in Cancer, you can make yourself a delicious meal. If you have, moon in Taurus, you can self-pleasure for a long time. If you have moon in Pisces, you can listen to music or make music or channel or connect with, spirits. If you have a moon in Leo, you need to be admired by people. Very difficult to meet that need inside of you. Um, but you also, we all need to be able to be also alone so that we are more resilient when we need to say no or to face somebody telling us no, face rejection. You might be able to have a pet. You might be able to even have a stuffy, okay, in the shape of a pet that you carry with you. I think of Mr. Bean and his bear. Um, you might need that. You might need that. Um, or to have a dog, because dogs are very loyal and they tend to appreciate you, and you can be a caregiver. You could really have one of these dogs like golden retriever or a German shepherd that are very much the type of dog that would follow you to the bathroom. And because it is a pet, it's not as concerned depending on your freedom needs, because you do need space. Um, but you could have this admiring dog that will accompany you. Go to the bathroom, they go and they look at you and you look at what you're going to do next. That can be something that can be actually very healing for you, and you could be very generous with this dog, and you could be very caring, and you will get up and walk the dog, and it can be very, very healing for you. To be admired in such a way that you have your center. You find this this need of being appreciated, you find this need of being admired, and then you are more resilient, because if you only meet this need, if you deny your need, it's going to find its way to meet it itself. If you're very thirsty and you don't drink and you don't drink and you don't drink, eventually you're going to drink, or you're going to drink something with, a lot of sugar, or you're going to addict it to something, or you're going to try to eat things with fluids, because you're going to need the water. With being admired is also a need. You need to be admired. If you deny this need, you might be susceptible to abuse. And if you don't meet this need in a way that's independent of people, that you have a way to meet this at least some of this need independently of people, you might be susceptible to being abused, because you constantly need people, and nobody on earth can catch up with constantly 24/7 admiring. There are more, there are moon signs and sun signs that are more fit. Um, for example, Libra or Pisces, They can provide to you a lot. But even then, you don't want to be codependent. Okay, you want to, even if you have, great intimacy and great complementary needs, you don't want to be codependent. And so having a pet that you give good care to and you will give good care to, um, is something that can really be uplifting to you. It can really be centering. To know that you have this admire the secret admirer that will always be there. They will always fulfill your need. They will always admire you. They will always look up to you. They will always follow you wherever you go. They're incredibly loyal. Okay? And that you're probably more of a dog person than a cat person. Okay? Although you might be a cat person because they present you with challenge, um, but then you know that when you meet people, you can enjoy it without that overwhelming your ego to the point where you lose yourself. Um, and yes, when you do have this centeredness, yes, it is time to go and, be a social media influencer. Tell your story in a compelling way. Be of an inspiration um, to people. Okay? Meet your ego's needs in a way that is healthy, in a way that is safe. Um, and then when you will have relationship or family, you will be able to tolerate their not meeting that you need to be admired because you have yourself. You meet it in another place. Or alternatively, if the crowd is not meet or you don't have a crowd currently or whatnot, then you can still have friends, you can still have a family that might not be able to meet all your needs. You might not be able to give you constant 24/7 appreciation and admiration. But you know that you have people that are with you there. That even though this need of admiration is not met, they are still there for you. They are still there for you if it's, your parents giving you food, giving you housing, or they're still there for you listening to you, or they're still there for you just being present, not leaving you stranded. Um, and that is something to remember. Although you probably do remember that Leo is very intelligent. So you cognitively you probably do remember that. You know that your heart needs what it needs. Um, and the upside, you can be very open. You can be very vulnerable, but in a way that is relatable. It can be very relatable. You can be very glamorous. You can have your own shine, a natural glamour, because the sun just is. So you can have natural shine, natural glamour. And with the moon there, it is a beauty when the yin and the yang meet, there can be something very whole about you. You can be whole with your vulnerabilities. You can be whole with the things that are not perfect in you. You can be whole with your wounds, okay? And you can really be a figure that people not only look up to, but that is actually healing by just being you. So if you open the camera and you tell your story, you can be healing to people by just being you. If you're musically inclined, you can write an album or sing a song, and maybe in the beginning nobody will be watching, but then somebody will tell you, "Oh my gosh, your music or your shows or your videos have healed me throughout this difficult time," and so and so. That can be. Um, and when you are centered, then you're not easily succumbing to the ego power illusion, because people will project on you. You are the sun, of course people will project on you. And if you are lunar, if the moon is in the sun sign, of course If you know the word transference, look up transference. People will transfer because both if you're the moon and if you're the sun, because the moon is the feminine, so we have the projections on the feminine. And the moon is also the part that is most intimate. The people who share our lives most intimately are exposed to our moon. But if it's in the in Leo, then it is in a place that is solar, it is more visible. Um, and when you are more solar, then people may project on you both images of the feminine because it's the moon, but also their ideal father, their ideal, figure. And you will need to be very centered to deal with these projections. Any place your sun is, you're going to need to do that, but also any placement of Leo, because when somebody shines, they are a figure that is public, then people project stuff on too. Maybe you remind people of their mother, their father, their this, their that. Now, usually this is something that happens in deep, intimate relationships, or with your psychologist or psychotherapist, which is why you might be more inclined to do therapy, but be very, very cautious about that. Be incredibly cautious about that, because people will project on you more easily, but it doesn't mean that you can more easily heal that. And also, you need to be appreciated and admired. Okay, so you're very likely to have countertransference. If somebody admires you and meets your need, you're very likely to have countertransference. And and if you don't meet that need in a safe, healthy way, yeah, that can create problems. And if your moon is badly aspected, yeah, that can create, a lot of issues. But then the sun is very intelligent, and it's the heart. It's very confident. It's very centered. So if it's not badly aspected, and if the sun is not badly aspected, then you will probably find the way to do that. Yes, self-nourishment is tricky with displacement because self-nourishment is hardly ever with the self in this case. I'm not saying you can't retreat to yourself, but it's not going to feel self-nourishing to do so. It's going to feel like the other polarity, the Saturn ruled Aquarius. Um, and it's going to feel, if you retreat or if you meditate on your ego and all that, it is very beneficial, but it is not self-nourishing. Moon is self-nourishing. And self-nourishing for you, get yourself a golden retriever, get yourself a German shepherd, a Belgian shepherd dog. If you like pets, get yourself a dog that will look up to you and admire you. Don't seek it in a person. Don't seek it in your child, because your children will admire you. Maybe people around you, maybe your spouse will admire you. But you still need that place that is centered. And you will feel like the appreciation, the admiration you would get, from um, a dog that is loyal, and the dog is not hurt in the process, is not deprived in the process, because you feed them and you walk with them and all of that, and they constantly are, all eyes on you. This is perfect. They meet each other's needs perfectly, and then you can be more. And if you don't like pets, absolutely don't like pets, maybe get yourself a stuffy that has these eyes, or I don't know, but meet that need of being admired. Do not deny this need. Do not think that there's something bad with you. Do not think, oh, it's selfish, it's egoistic. It's no, 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 no. This is your need. This is your kink. Okay? This is your kink. This is what you need. You need to meet that need in a safe and healthy way. If you try to deny this need, then you're gonna get troubles. You're gonna get the wrong kind of girls. You're gonna get the borderlines or men. You're gonna get, the people that project stuff on you that are unhealthy. The people that are not. In any case, if you don't self-nourish, you get the people that don't self-nourish. But if you're, in that luminary, in that solar, then you're gonna get the people that project bad solar images on you, and gonna be chronically dissatisfied, and you might even be aggressive or be abusive, even though you are. you are a heart-centered person. It's going to hurt you very deeply if you're hurting others as well. And all because you did not acknowledge your own need to be admired. Or think that there's something wrong with that. Or maybe you grew up in a culture where they tell you, oh, don't think too much of yourself. No, you need that. You need to meet this need. And when you do, then you can be a form of inspiration. You can do meaningful things in life. You can be meaningful to people without losing, without losing your soul. Also, if you're doing artistic things, if you're a dramatic actor, actresses, then it will be easier for you to protect your rights, protect your work, protect yourself. Also, it will be easier for you to protect yourself in relationships, and to not play those ego games so much, because you right proportion, and then when you center yourself, it will be easier to choose the people who have the right proportions of you, so you can have healthy, safe relationship. You need moon in Leo is moon in a fixed sign. You need that steady connection. You need that long term, whether partnership or other form of relationship. um, you need that. Sometimes you might also need family. It's a need. It's not something you can ignore or repress. Transit. Okay, so moon transiting Leo is, again, it's the place where you can wear your heart on your sleeve a bit more, be more dramatic. You might meet fiery emotions, because again, it's a fixed fire sign. Okay, so you might be heading to dealing with not some, it's not just anger in the sense of like a Mars boundaries anger, but definitely you can be more aware of your need to be seen, your need to be admired, your need to be appreciated. For me, I have Leo in my sixth house, and I just went to meet a dog and a cat that I'm going to do doggy sitting for. And it was a beautiful day. I was very tired, but I was also very happy, very invigorated when when I saw them, and I always meet them first, and I was like, I was in my shine zone. Even though I'm very tired, I was in my shine zone. So, um, if you, depending on the house, again, a great day to watch pet videos or record pet videos, especially dogs. Um, Great day to be visible, to do a video on social media, to upload a video. Wonderful day to be where you need to shine. Maybe a job interview for a job that you really like. If it is, fifth or seventh house, this is a good day to film yourself for a dating profile, or to get a date with someone. Um, any place that requires you to be public, to public performance, that would be a good day to do so, because this is where you are more in touch with your inner drama, and you bring that inner drama with glamour, and you're more glamorous. You're gonna see the moon is in Leo, you're more glamorous. You don't have to work hard. Look at me, I don't wear makeup, I don't wear anything, and I'm very tired. I'm in my moon days. But I feel like better, more natural, more at ease. I know I'm gonna record a video today because it's just so. Okay, it's also true to Venus in Leo, and of course with the Sun in Leo transits. So this is a time where self-nourishment is following your heart, and this is, where Peridot, which is a Leo sign, Peridot and Moonstone, perhaps, um, do something where you need to be visible, this is a good time to shine. Even now with Mercury retrograde, I'm still pulling it off. And yeah, it's that day where self-care is actually being appreciated and admired by others. So, and you can see you will feel very natural. You'll feel more natural. If you're a person that, let's say, have the sun in the 12th house or something like that, think about Regulus. Okay, it's also in Leo. So it's going to have a Regulus effect on you. So if you need to do public performance or public speaking, and you're like sun in the 12th, like please don't touch me natally, then there's a transit of the moon in Leo or the moon in conjunct Regulus. Set it for this time. This is the time when it would be a bit better for you to do that, um, where you will be a bit more inclined to do that, or it will go out great, and you will see it will seem more natural. Like however you feel, it will still seem more natural. So that was the moon in Leo. Tali Shear on Twitter, Shirley Youngblood on Instagram, and I do readings. It's $50 for a reading. And I also have a new service which I noticed people liked, is that I can tell you what crystals are good for you to work with according to your chart. This is in no way talismanic matter. I do not do or sell talismans. I'm not trained for that just yet. Is just combining my knowledge as holistic health practitioner, as a person that works with crystal, and as an astrologer. And it's $20. So you don't buy the crystals from me. I just tell you, look at the map, look at your question, and I tell you what is best for you to work with, what crystals are best for you to work with. No way talismanic matter, no way astrological magic, just the crystals. So I'll see you in my next video. Have a lovely, lovely day or night wherever you are. Bye bye.